What's going on, people? So we got the 78 MGB back in the shop, and we're going to go ahead and focus on doing the brakes. Been sidetracked on other projects, and just pushed it to the side, and now it's time to get this thing where it's going to stop and actually drive, and we will return it to gym. So we got the calipers off. Here's one right here. We're going to go ahead and rebuild it. The brakes were sticking on the front, so I decided we're just going to go ahead and rebuild the brake calipers. So we got our rebuild kit. It's from Centric. It's a 1491009 caliper kit, and we got our wheel cylinders for the rear. They're also from Centric. Part number is focus on that. That's a 134-25101. So we already have this side taken off here, and I was in the middle of taking the other side off. So it's got the steel braided front brake hoses, which we're not going to replace. I think they're alright. What I'm going to do, I've already got the master cylinder removed, which it was contaminated with old brake fluid, and the sensor broke off in it. It's just rusted in there. But if you look in there, oh, I'll take the top off. It is full of rust. So what I'm going to do is, after removing all the brake lines, I'm going to take my air hose and blow all the brake fluid out. The old brake fluid. Probably going to blow it from here, and so that way it will blow down and out on the floor instead of blowing it from the front hoses up, and then it blow all on the carburetors on the motor. We're going to just take the wheel cylinders off, take the lines, and I don't know if I can point them in the direction towards the floor, but we might put some drain pans up on them, and blow all that old brake fluid out before we put everything new back on. That way it won't be contaminated. So, but yeah, we're gonna get started on the 78 and get this thing where it's gonna run and stop, and be ready to go on the for sale lot. Is what I was told. So that's what we're going to replace a lot of stuff on it. I think it's going to put new tires on it. He's going to spiffy up the paint, and I think he said he's going to put a new top on it, which this top is not bad. It's actually in good shape. It just needs to be cleaned up. But he said he wants to replace the top, so I'm not going to argue with him. So anyway, that is really it for right now. So I'm going to get started on taking these calipers apart and rebuilding them, and we'll try and get some brakes. Alright, we're going to go ahead and take the brake drums off the rear. I want to see what the shoes look like, even though we are going to replace the wheel seals. At least want to know what the shoes look like. Oh, brand new shoes. look like brand new shoes. It's clean in there. See how good and clean that is. The shoes look good. Actually, the wheel cylinders. The boots are still, you know, they're not soft. They don't appear to be leaking, but we're going to replace them anyway. Hey, it's a spider. So we're going to leave the shoes like they are, and we're just going to go ahead and put new wheel cylinders on. Let's go on the other side and look, see what it looks like, but I already know it's going to be new. Should be new anyway. I wouldn't think nobody will replace one side. This one's a little, she's a fighter. I have to get a screwdriver for that side or something to pry it off with. So that means this side was adjusted up nice and snug. Sorry about the background noise. It's my fan. It is super hot outside. I think it's like right at 90 degrees, 95. So it gets hot in the shop. Brand new. Even the rotor looks good. Nice and smooth. So, like I say, we'll go ahead and replace the wheel cylinder anyway. And at least we won't have to worry about that leaking, because this car did sit for quite a while. When we know all that's new, we'll adjust the brakes up, and we'll put the let's see, the brake line. Won't have to replace it either. It's a braided brake line back over in here. It's even got the tag still on it, so we won't mess with it either, but we will drain out all the old brake fluid. So good deal. Alright, so now it's caliper breakdown time. This one right here I haven't took apart yet, but this one over here I've actually took it apart, cleaned it. It's got all the new seals in it, so it's ready to go on. So now we're going to take this one apart, and first thing you got to do is remove the brake shoes, or brake pads rather, and then we got to blow those pistons out so we can remove the seals and clean the inner parts of the caliper. Thing I hate is getting those seals out, I mean the pistons out, because you have to hit them with air. So we need to take this fitting out. This is where the brake line goes, so we'll be able to put lots of air to it. And let's see here, now we need to get these pins out of here. It's got these little Carter pin looking things. It goes all the way through. These little metal pieces that holds pressure on the brake pads. Almost said shoes again. So I need to pull these out. That holds pressure down on the pad. So we gotta bend this pin here straighter. Hopefully we can knock it out of there. Pull that right out. Yeah. Now we got our pads. Someone has put silicone on these pads. I guess to keep them from rattling around, they put like orange silicone. You can see the orange silicone on the back of it. Alright, so I got fitting out where the brake line goes. So this is where it gets messy. We need to blow those pistons out. So I'm going to get the air hose. Probably going to hear a big pow. Sound like a shotgun going off. I don't like doing it. It's kind of scary, you know. I'm getting over here. There's one. That's what happened last time. Only one came out. So there's the piston. Got all over the camera. Goodness gracious. We'll have to clean that up. So now we need to get the other one out. And how I got the other one out, I actually just put it in the vise, wrapped a rag around it, and just kind of wiggled it out of there, because once you take the caliper apart, you won't be able to build up pressure to pull the one out on the back side. So let's get some towels. Starting to spread everywhere. And what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go ahead and pause for a second, get this brake fluid off my camera. I don't want it to eat it up. And we'll break it down. Alright, now we got the camera all cleaned off. Now let's take this thing apart. So what we need to do is get our 5/8 socket. Hopefully it'll come free easier than the other one. Alright. Like the other one had Loctite on it or something. So we take these bolts out, and that's one half, and that's the other half. And there's a little O-ring right here. That didn't come in the kit. So we're going to be gently taking it out, sitting it to the side. And now we got to get this other piston out, which this one is on this side, and the other one that was stuck in was on this side. It was a little bit easier to get in the vise. So what I'm gonna have to do It's gonna be hard to blow that out. One way you can really blow it out, you have to put your finger or put some over these little holes here. But man, that thing come out of there. You gotta be careful. So I'm gonna try and I guess I'll try and blow it out of there. I don't know if I can get it in the vise to pull it out. So I guess we'll do something dangerous. Maybe it'll slowly pop out of there. Maybe not. Let's try. It's out, but I don't want to blow it the rest of the way out. I don't want to get hit. So it did come out some. Might be able to pull it out with some pliers. Nope. Gonna have to just suck it up. Move my hand out the way. It's out. It's on the floor somewhere. And this thing is full of crud. I was having a problem with the caliper sticking. The front brakes would stick once you hit the pedal. So we're going to replace the master cylinder also. But part of the reason was because of these calipers. So what I'm going to do is put these in the parts washer, get the seals out, and get them cleaned out, and then we'll stick them back together. So bear with me. Alright, so we got both halves cleaned up. I've already removed the little seals or O-rings from this half. I wanted to show you about this half. You can just take a screwdriver. Well, first we need to, before we do that, we need to get the seal out. Now, there's a seal up under some kind of metal retainer. I think this is just a dust shield. So what we want to do is dig it out of there. So that's like some kind of dust shield. And then you have this little metal retainer. Just pop it right out. And then your O-ring or seal will go in here. And you just press it back in. Then there's another seal up inside there. And that's it. That's all it takes. So the kit comes with the top one and the bottom one. So what I'm going to do, still got some dirt. Get all that crud out of there. So now we got our new seal that'll go inside. Then we got our other seal that goes on the top. So what I'm going to do Now the one that's totally flat is the one that goes on the inside. I have an extra one. This one is flat. It goes on the inside. And the one for the top has like a little ridge in it. So I'm gonna put the seal into a retaining ring. And then I'm just gonna take my piston, which I've cleaned, and I'm gonna slide it through there. Like so. And that way when I put the piston back in the caliper, I can just tap this down until this little recess part. So what I'm gonna do is put just a little bit of grease on it, not too much, because you don't want to contaminate the brake system. So just a little bit of grease to help that piston slide right back in there. Might want to put some on the inside too. Not too much. Just a little bit. I thought about using brake fluid, but I was like, nah, we'll put a little wheel bearing grease. That piston should slide. Still might have to use your C-clamp or some or a vise, but you should be able to just push it down in there. And once you get it in there, you can take something and tap this little ring back in there with the seal. Just be careful. You gotta kind of go in even. So what I'm gonna do, I'm going to put it in the vise. And I'll show you. Get it set up in the vise. And what we're going to do, just crank down on the vise. Just like you're pushing it back to put the pads on. You don't want to go all the way in, just enough where that lip is sticking out. So it's in there. So you do the same thing to the other side. Same procedure. You got to put the piston in with the O-ring. Put your other O-ring on the inside. So, same thing. Put the O-ring in. It's in there nice and flush. Make sure you clean it out real good. Get back. Focus where we was. Sorry. Don't you just hate moving cameras? Alright. So now we will get our piston ready with our top O-ring. slide it on. Make sure that piston is real clean, nice and shiny, no burrs on it. Make sure that slides on there good. Same thing, put some grease on it, just a little bit. Just a little bit of grease on that inner one. Put the piston in. Try and put it in there as even as you can. You might can kind of push it with your hand a little bit. Might have to put it in a vise and press it the rest of the way in. It's a tight seal. I can take this hammer. It's tight. Let's put it in a vise right quick and crank it in. So we got it cranked in there. Now I'm gonna just back in. Just make sure not to bend this thing up. Alright, now we can put the rest of the way down in there. Now, she's all together. Might smush it back just a little bit more. Not too much. So now, what we need to do is put our two pieces back together. I don't know why the kit doesn't come with this little O-ring. I don't remember seeing one in the package, but it still looks like it's in good shape. So we'll put it back where it goes, right there. Actually, we built the ones on the 77 MGB. If you want to see that, you can check out that video. I can't remember which episode it was, but I think I did rebuild those for you guys. I know I rebuilt them. So put our two 5/8 bolts back in. Alright, so now the calipers together. So now we got to put the pads back in. I'm going to leave whatever this orange stuff is on the back of it. I guess that'll kind of keep it from rattling and I guess from making noise. I'll just leave that on there. It's kind of sticky. So we'll just leave it on there. It probably keeps the friction off the back of the pad. Let's get all the dust off of it. I actually left it on the other one. Okay. So now we gotta put our little metal strips back in. I think it goes that way. No, it goes the other way. This thing is a pain to get back in there. Actually, the pad has got to be sitting in there just right. That one. Make sure the pad is straight. All this leaves and crap. I guess the pad is not sitting where it's supposed to be. Kind of high. Make sure the pad is flush. For some reason it's not. I think I got it now. Pain getting these pins back in there. For some reason our pads is not wanting to line up. And then the pin is not bent right. Anyway, we'll get it together. You get it. Just put the pins in, bend them over, and good to go. So I'll finish putting this together. We'll get it back on the car. I'm not gonna sit here and wrestle with it on camera. and we'll get some brakes on this thing. So we got our new master cylinder here. It is part number 180373. You see that right there? I guess you can see that right there. And we got our new brake switch. It's a brake failure switch. It's part number what is that? 181955, I believe. So anyway, we're gonna get this put on, and we should be able to screw this baby right in. Actually, it's got another part number on there. I don't know if you can see that. It is a Pt.4 from Mall. Alright, so now we got the wheels back on. We got the brake system bled up. Hopefully it's bled up. It feels like it's got some kind of pedal. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to let it down. We'll get it cranked up. We'll see when she stops and the brakes not lock up again. Doesn't have the automatic, not the automatic, cruise control. Some of the MGs had the push button cruise control, which kicks it over to like the 5th gear. Exhaust on it. It sounds real cool. Is it a cornering car? Tired of that squeaking in the steering column though. Well guys, the little red MG is on the road. Brakes are working good. We did do some research, found out that this car's actually got a cam in it. It's got a mild camshaft in it. But you can tell with the loping, and she will rip. There's no overheating problems. Still can use a nice little paint job on it, but I think Jim is just going to go ahead and put it on the market for sale. But knowing him, he'll probably just paint it. But yeah, she runs real good. So we're going to take her for a spin around this lot here and see what she'll actually do. Now what I did put some of that water. It's called water wetter. I put some of that in it. That'll help it run a lot cooler. They say on these MGs, it really helps them out. So being that it's like 90 something degrees today, I wanted to let the top down, but it's just too hot. Yeah, like I say, she runs really good. I'm impressed. She actually runs better than the blue one. But we're gonna take her for a little spin and buzz her around a little bit. Not too bad. She buzzes along pretty good. Like I say, she still can need a little fine cleaning up, a little fine tuning here and there, but she runs pretty decent. It's got lots of power. I'm impressed. It's actually faster than the GT hatchback. So we'll give her one more buzz around. That it needs, and that's it. So it runs, it stops, it goes. So y'all just keep watching. Thanks for those new subscribers that subscribed this week and here lately. I know it's been one heck of a year for us YouTubers. You know, we can't really get to places where we used to go do videos, but a lot of people are just sticking their neck out there and still doing it anyway. So I'm gonna keep doing it. Just stay safe out there, and we'll talk to y'all next time.